It was a fun win in Lincoln this weekend, and everybody involved with Texas football needed some fun because it had been too long. When you have a couple of tough weekends and then you have a week off, it's not fun. As we said before, it's not like basketball and baseball where you get to go play again. You have to wait till you get there, and I don't think there's any question that we're all spoiled around here a little bit, and losing stinks. So it's not fun. You need to get back and win if you're going to be involved in college sports or high school sports or pee-wee sports or anything else. I did think that not enough credit was given to Bo Pelini and the Nebraska team and staff. They've done a tremendous job, and they are back in the national scene. They made that a huge game coming in, not us. Taylor Martinez is a great player, and our guys did a super job against him this weekend, but I don't want to walk away from that game without giving the Nebraska staff credit for being back in the national limelight, and what Taylor Martinez has done for that team so far has just been unbelievable. It's obvious that our coaches and players got some things fixed over bye week. They worked really hard, and one of the things we felt, a lot of the things that were getting messed up were things we messed up, and those are things we can fix. And I was really, really proud of the way they played. They played hard, and they also played with more discipline than we have been playing with, and that was evident throughout the day. In the kicking game, I thought it was one of the huge differences in the ball game. We dominated on defense, and we dominated in the kicking game. Offense managed the game really well, but kickoff coverage, they started at an average of the 23-yard line. They averaged 16 yards a return. 2 of them were touchbacks, and we held them inside the 20 twice. And that was a huge day, especially with field position, considering the wind gust, because the wind was a big part of this game throughout. Our punt return team did a really good job. Curtis Brown had a 24-yard return that led to a field goal, and Aaron Williams had a 17-yard return. Again, overall the operation was good, and it helped us with field position. The punt team was one of the real bright spots of the game. We averaged 46 yards a punt. We had 3 punts inside the 20-yard line, and 2 of those were down inside the 5, with Malcolm Williams doing a tremendous job of downing those balls down. And it was into the third quarter, or in the third quarter, where they had the wind. So it took away their wind advantage, and I thought it made a huge difference in the game because of their poor field position. John Gold had a 54-yard punt, and Justin Tucker had punts of 55 and 67 yards into the wind. And he was actually running to his right like rugby and punting it across, and the ball bounced, and he got the great rolls, and it was just something that we have not done before, and something that really had an impact on the game. And like I said, all 3 of them did well. We punted Justin into the wind with the rugby punt, and we punted John Gold with the wind, and his punt went out of bounds as well for no return. So it was a great day for our punt team. Kickoff return team just had 2 opportunities. The one that was out in the field, we did not do well again. We stunk. We still got to look at that. 2 of the guys missed blocks up front, and they did a tremendous job on the onside kick. The execution was good, and Marquise Goodwin did a great job. He can jump, so he did a great job jumping up and getting that. So when I asked Bobby Kennedy why he had him on the team, he said he's got good hands and he can obviously jump. So that's the reason we put him out there. Extra point and field goal team did a great job throughout the day. Justin made a 27 and a 28-yard field goal. Looked like we had a little trouble with our snaps. But I think that's something that we can correct. Cade McCrary did a great job of picking them up and putting them down, and he and Justin have really good confidence in each other right now. And the one blunder was the pooch kick at the end of the game. You're sitting there with 3 minutes left, 3+ minutes left in the game, and you've got 4 or 5 decisions you can make. And they're my decisions. You can go for the first down. If you make it, the game's over. If the ball's tipped up, they run it back. Something like that happens, like it did against Baylor in 99, I think, where they were going in to score against UNLV, and they ran it back for a touchdown. So all those things can happen, and it didn't look like Nebraska was going to be able to score a touchdown. You can pooch punt with your field goal team, which we've been very successful because Justin's got the great touch. You can pooch punt with your regular offense. They don't do that. I mean, with your regular offense, and Garrett Gilbert's done well with that, but now you're spreading people out. There's a bigger chance of an all-out blitz and someone blocking the punt because you didn't want it blocked. You can try to kick a 50-yard field goal, but sometimes the trajectory is a little lower, and that could have been returned for a touchdown. or you can rocket punt with your regular team, and again, your regular punt team usually doesn't punt from that far in, so it's tougher for them. Or you could fake the field goal. And going back and look at it, we took the most conservative approach, and probably the decision was okay. Our execution was not. We should have had Justin kick it out of bounds. And if he'd kicked it out of bounds at the 10-yard line, even at the 20-yard line, we would have not gained much yardage, but it still would have put them back. We got greedy, and we tried to get it down at the 1 or 2-yard line. And obviously, we should have tackled him. We had guys there, but we did not execute it very well. So we think in that position, we still might do the same thing, but we would tell him to kick it out of bounds. Things we need to improve. I laughed about it after the game, but it wasn't funny. It's only funny since we won. We've got to improve the execution of that pooch punt if we continue to do it, because we've got to get guys that can tackle, and their guy Haig did a great job of running back and making a play, very much like Quan did a couple of years ago against El Paso, because usually the guys covering aren't the best tacklers. We've got to continue to improve our kickoff return and continue to be creative with our punt team. We've got 2 outstanding punters, and we've got 2 or 3 different ways we can punt now, and field position with punt returns is huge. And stopping them from that. So special teams players of the game, Justin Tucker, he continues to do a great job, and also Malcolm Williams. We've got to look at substituting Malcolm Moore again. He's back on every special team, and he covers every punt, and he's covering kickoffs, and he's trying to block punts, and he's just done a tremendous job for us in that area. Very proud of the players and the staff for handling substitution issues in the kicking game. We had so many people go down time and time again, and it was such a physical game. And we had problems with that once with 12 on the field against UCLA, and they managed that part of the game really well on Saturday. Sometimes it's easier to do it on the road than it is at home because you've got a lot fewer players. At home, you dress out 100-plus kids, and on the road, you can only dress 70. So we've got to continue to address that, and we did not have a penalty in the kicking game. Defense had a great day. We talked about discipline with our eyes and our feet and our ankles, and we executed and we tackled well. The run game, we're supposed to hold the opponents to 3.3 or less per rush. They had 36 runs for 107 yards, and that was 2.97 yards per carry. And we tried to take away what they did best. We did not do that against UCLA. We allowed them to run the ball, and you can't let somebody beat you with what they do best, and that's what happened in that ball game. Passing game, we want to hold the opponents to 5.0 yards or less per attempt. They had 28 attempts for 94 yards, so it was 3.35 yards per attempt. So we were successful there. We need 3 turnovers per game. We got 1 turnover. We recovered the fumble early in the game, and we had 1 4th down stop, which our defense counts as a turnover, so we did not get that goal. Ball hawks, Eddie Jones caused a fumble. Keenan Robinson fell on it. Shockey Brown had a 4th down stop. We're not supposed to give up any big plays. But they did have a 20 and a 23-yard pass play, and we put tremendous pressure on our secondary and linebackers in man-to-man coverage to try to stop Taylor Martinez. Taylor had 13 carries for 21 yards and had 1.6 yards per carry. But again, the scheme put all the pressure back on the secondary and a little bit on the linebackers, but the secondary had the pressure during the game, so we could use the other guys to stop. They were only successful on 5 of 16 third down opportunities. They were only successful on 8 of 24 with first down efficiency, and Nebraska was 0 for 2 in the red zone. Defense had 7 3-and-outs, 21 hits on both quarterbacks, and we only missed 3 tackles for 21 yards. So it's just totally opposite of what we did in the UCLA game. Very proud of Jordan Hicks and Adrian Phillips. They both stepped up with some guys banged up and played well. In fact, Jordan played 40 plays, which is amazing for him to go in his first game where he played that much, and he played really well. Freshmen seem to be maturing. Defensive player of the game was Keyston Randall. He held down the middle. He played really, really well, and he is starting to dominate in the middle, which is something we were concerned about in preseason. The other guys, Alex Okafor, those guys are coming on and helping out as well. So we feel better about our interior defensive line. Defensive player of the game, or hard hat winner of the game for defense, was Blake Gideon. Blake continues to be a guy that will hit you. Things we must improve on defense, our man coverage. Since we're putting tremendous pressure on those guys, we can't leave guys wide open. And it was a hard day to throw the ball. The wind was really, really tough. The ball was fluttering. Both teams had trouble with it. We dropped 2 touchdown passes. So it was something that we've got to continue to work on. And our